Welcome to Finest Work Songs. My name is Matt.
My name is also Matt. I always get so excited when I say that. My name is also Matt. I'm so excited to
I
be
like
Matt.
it. Yeah. Are you excited to be Matt or are you excited to be here?
Both. Because there are so few Matts out there.
I got coffee the other day and they asked for the name. And they're like, what's your last name?
Oh,
because there's another Matt.
There's like 15 waiting in line already.
Yeah. Next time I'm going to go up and say my name's Bueller.
Bueller?
And then just not pick it up.
Bueller. 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 Bueller.
He's sick. My best friend's sister's boyfriend's brother's girlfriend heard from this guy who knows this kid is going with the girl who saw Ferris pass out at 31 Flavors last night. I guess it's pretty serious.
Thank you, Simone.
Matt, we got a lot to talk about today.
Yep.
There's a new album out.
Yeah, I'm putting out my first solo album. It's called 46. Oh, is that not what you're referring to?
You're the Adele of done.
The male Adele.
Ew, male Adele. You know there's a dancer somewhere that goes by the male Adele. Matt, I was talking about the Connells' new album, Stedman's Wake. Connells are one of the bands that brought Matt and I together. Our shared love and memories of the band. We reviewed Fun and Games last year. After how many years?
20 years since a full-fledged album.
And it's great.
It's really good.
I love it.
It's really good.
I've been listening to it on repeat.
Same here. Each time I listen to it, there's something new that jumps out at me that I really, really like. And I know you are not a big saxophone in song kind of guy, but I've always loved it when the Connells would include a trumpet. And, and there's a couple songs on here that do that, and I love it. I think it's so good.
I think there were practical purposes to that. They got sick of paying a trumpet player to come out just for over there.
Oh, we could actually pay him for the whole show and at a reduced rate, and he can do 3 songs instead of 1.
But yeah, man, not a bad track. I encourage everybody to go pick it up.
Yep. Really good, really strong.
Really great.
It is really great. Wow.
That's track 1, everybody.
Yeah.
You'll get it.
That's an insider joke.
A week from now when you're listening to the album, you're going to be like, oh, man, remember on that podcast?
We are not quite at the time for our Listener's Choice contest in Epipod, which we do at the end of each season. But we did want to introduce some exciting news around the Listener's Choice. In the past, we've done a number of things to get people to submit albums that they would like for us to review at the end of the season. This year, we're doing something a little different. We are inviting you to submit fan art. And I even hate using the word fan because, finest work fan art, or listener art. Post, tag us on social, email us at finestworksongs@gmail.com, your Finest Work Songs fan art. Maybe it's that black and white pen and ink drawing you've got of Bobby Brown at Mule Days, or it's watercolor of the world's largest Arby's, or it's, Stevens playing saxophone while riding a horse at a Dave Matthews concert. I don't know, whatever. Use your imagination.
Which, by the way, listeners, those are all things that we've talked about.
Oh yeah, that's probably
just random things.
That's probably worth clarifying.
Unless you've listened to 60 Epipods, then you may miss a few. Yeah, but that's why you should go back.
Yeah,
catch the inside jokes. Be an insider.
Catch them all. So contribute fan art, post them on social, tag us in them, email us. When you do that, let us know which album you'd like for us to review at the end of the season for our listener's choice.
What's the due date, Matt?
Hot Tuesday, November 16th.
They post the art, and then do they also post the album that they want us to review?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's do that.
All right. You could also Photoshop Matt and I into a scene at the melting pot.
Ooh.
Which I keep getting emails from the melting pot.
They're not from their legal department, are they?
Cease and desist. Cheese and dip 6. No, I'm getting these emails. They're trying to get me to go on a Thursday date.
Oh.
Right? Yeah. Clever melting pot.
That is clever.
Which, if you're an Adele fan, we'll get to it.
yeah.
Just wait.
You came to just hear male bashing and wonderful lyrics and singing. Just give it a minute.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
One of my issues in life is the existence of the melting pot. as a chain restaurant, as any restaurant, but the fact that it's a chain, it's just gross, man. They're trying to get me to pay $45 a person.
Per person.
Per person to go cook my own food in their restaurant.
On a Thursday.
On a Thursday. First course, I'm going to let you guess what it is.
Let's see. First course, I'm thinking appetizer or salad. Just croutons you dip in cheese.
Pretty much. It's a cheese fondue. That's your first course, right?
Okay, yep.
Second, there's a salad. Do you dip the salad?
Yeah, that's
Do you
confusing.
take the lettuce and dip it in the cheese?
Yeah, and you just dropped the lettuce in there. You're not. It's falling
Drink
in.
it. Yeah, yeah. Third course, they've nicknamed Big Night Out. So it's not just a Thursday, it's Big Night Out. And you could pick, like, I don't know,
chicken,
sirloin, or shrimp. Or you can add a lobster tail for an even bigger night out, it says. So if you want lobster, it's $60 per person, right?
Oh my God.
And then for the fourth course, of course, you're dipping strawberries
Chocolat.
into chocolate. And then there's an all caps warning about
scalding your skin.
No, our fondue style service may result in the undercooking of certain ingredients. And I think the worst part about it, Matt, is that they have trademarked Thursday.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah.
I wanted to use that.
That's a dad joke. You can't trademark a dad joke.
So you're paying $45 or $60 per person to go on a Thursday night to potentially burn yourself and get salmonella.
That's right.
Sweet.
Self-inflicted salmonella. You kind of
Self-inflicted.
deserve it if you're going on a Thursday. Also, if that's your Thursday, how are you going to top that on the weekend, man?
I mean, there's no topping that. Well, we mentioned fan art earlier, and you can you can email that in to us at finestworksongs@gmail.com. We get so much email. It's like Santa Claus in early December, just bags and bags of email, literal email, figurative email.
You like to print them out.
Yeah, I do. I'm old school like that.
You guys are great, though, with the emails.
It's hard for us to get through them all, but we do like to address some of it on a little segment we call Kenny Gmail. Kenny Gmail is our segment where we read real, legit email that has come to our Gmail account, finestworksongs@gmail.com.
And you do a great job, Matt. I want to give you some on-air praise. You do a great job of picking the most sincere.
Yeah, thank you.
And I know that's not easy because the emails that come in are just people pouring their heart out.
Yeah,
it's like an Adele song.
It really
every
is.
email.
Every email is. Some of these are really personal, and so it makes us a little angsty about sharing this type of deep emotional stuff with the listeners, but it's important to do this, and I feel like if they're sharing it with us, then we can share it with them. So this Kenny Gmail, author is boyfriend obsessed with wearing girl lingerie and underwear.
It's a long name.
That's a long name. I wonder if that's their Christian name.
Man, I want to hear his coffee order.
Oh man,
we got a pumpkin spice latte for boyfriend obsessed with wearing
women's lingerie. The comment is just, can someone recommend mail? MALE ? Cheers, XOX.
Mail, just in general.
Can someone recommend mail? Yeah.
They're looking for some help. So, I don't know, Matt. Can we recommend mail?
I mean, in this day and age, in this very progressive 21st century, I don't. It's hard to recommend mail sometimes.
Yeah.
Even as male myself, it's hard.
You know who else cannot recommend mail? Adele.
No,
as we're about to hear.
Yes, no, she cannot. No, she cannot. All
right, speaking of Adele, Matt, what album are we reviewing today?
Good segue. We are reviewing Adele 21.
As always, we like to start with our memories. So, Matt, what is your memory of Adele 21?
Adele 21, like everyone else in the civilized and probably uncivilized world, I heard Rolling in the Deep multiple times a day, every day for years. That's one of those songs that just was omnipresent in 2011, 2012, probably 2013.
Yeah.
Again, this album's 10 years old. So we've talked about it before, like, having kids at that time, like 4 and 2, and just kind of almost being in a fog. Like, I wasn't as adamant about keeping up with who's singing what or what's popular, but it definitely wasn't right away before I knew who Adele was. So I don't really have a great memory of it. I just remember 3 or 4 of these songs being massive.
Everywhere.
Massive songs. What's your memory of Adele 21?
Matt, did you know I used to be a priest?
Used to?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, after losing my wife, I moved on to this farm with my preteen son, and I had a little girl. My brother lived with us. He was a failed minor league baseball player. Anyway, we're just trying to keep life going on this farm. One day, large crop circles started appearing. You know, we thought it was vandals, but then we found out it was all over the globe. My brother's watching TV, and in Brazil, they show this alien that was filmed at a child's birthday party.
What?
Right? Yeah, so aliens are here. How do you not remember this?
Like I said, there was a time where I was in a fog.
Right.
Kids, man.
Yeah, so we're freaking out on our farm.
Sure.
An alien gets in our house. My minor league baseball failure of a brother grabs a bat.
It's a little harsh, but okay.
Well, yeah, he's, you know.
You tell
I
it
guess-
like it is.
Yeah, so the alien gets in the house, and my brother yells to the kids, "Quick, kids, run. Go find Adele or someplace out in the woods, and then hide." Me being like a priest.
Sure.
You know, I didn't know anything about farms or woods or anything, so I was just like, "Where are you sending them? What's Adele?" And the little girl's like, "I think you mean who's Adele, Daddy?
Yes.
And how do you not know about the multiple Grammy-winning worldwide star? Probably the only thing better known than these aliens all over the world is Adele,
Yeah.
Dad."
Yeah.
I was like, I feel so out of it. Anyway, while my brother took care of the aliens,
Yep.
she put on 21.
Oh, wow.
Immediately got me.
Man.
Yes, I've been a huge fan ever since.
Yeah. And thinking back to our Kenny Gmail, maybe that person was really looking for Mel, M-E-L,
Oh.
instead of M-A-L-A.
It could be.
Yeah. Really wasn't Mel Gibson all this time. In the time that your daughter was given that description,
Yeah.
the alien probably could have come in and killed every single one of you.
Well, he had a bat. My
No,
brother,
that's true.
Remember, he had
Your
a bat.
failure of a brother had
Yeah.
a bat. Yeah.
To this day, my kids are leaving glasses half full of water
Sure,
or
'cause they're
whatever
kids.
all over the house.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever not think about the movie Signs.
What's the...
So the little girl is always asking for a drink of water through the whole movie, but she always wants another one, and she
Yeah.
just leaves them around. So there's these glasses of water all over the house, half drunk.
Right.
And it bothers the dad. He's just like so
Yeah.
frustrated because she always wants a glass of water. I mean, they lost their mom, so
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like her mom used to bring her water or something. And the failed baseball player of a brother, he swings for the fences every time.
Yeah.
That's his issue, and
Right.
that's why he can't make it, right?
Yeah.
So then at the end, when the alien comes in and he's got the bat, Mel Gibson looks, sees the glasses of water everywhere because they can't deal with water.
That's right.
And he says, "Meryl, swing away."
That's right.
So his brother starts
Hitting all
swinging
the water
away.
glasses.
And that is what gives him his faith back, because then he believes that his wife somehow orchestrated that, or a higher
Interesting.
power.
Okay.
Anyway, so now whenever I
Okay.
see those around the house.
So you're like, leave as many glasses around as you want. Let's go save us when the aliens come.
Let's get into it. Let's hear the pipes. First track is Rolling in the Deep.
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out, and I'll lay your ship bare. See, I'll leave with every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I will do. There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out the dark. The scars of your love remind me of us. They keep me thinking that we almost had it all. The scars of your love, they leave me breathless. I can't help feeling we could have had it all. In the deep, you have my heart inside, and you played it to the beat. Baby, I have no story.
Adele been done wrong.
Yeah, we're going to see a theme throughout this album, Matt.
It's subtle. See if you can pick up on it.
Is there a song on this album not about relationships?
I don't think there is.
Is there a song she writes ever not about relationships?
I don't think there is.
Yeah. She and T-Swizz, man, they do some damage to some guys.
The other artist that I immediately thought about in a weird way is Alanis Morissette.
Oh, yeah.
I know this isn't Adele's debut, but like another famous breakthrough album spurred on by being left for someone else. And famously, the story is that, Alanis Morissette was dumped by Dave Coulier of Full House. theme.
Oh, that's right.
And that's who inspired Jagged Little Pill, which
Yeah.
might be Dave Collier's greatest accomplishment.
Yeah. So she wrote this in one afternoon with Paul Epworth, who is a producer. It was her reaction to, quote, being told that my life was going to be boring and lonely and rubbish, and that I was a weak person if I didn't stay in the relationship. I wonder how many guys there are. And are they famous? I don't know. Taylor Swift, my daughter can tell you what song's about who.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Their social security number and everything?
Yeah, because apparently Swifties really hate Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that. Kind of like him.
I did too. Maybe I shouldn't.
His name is Poison in my house.
Wow.
At least
Okay.
to my little Swiftie.
Oh, wow.
But, yeah, I don't know who her lovers were or anything. I think this album's about the dude who she was with for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And he was 30, I think. When
He was older, much older than
Okay.
her. Yep.
I know we'll talk about him more.
Essentially because the whole album is about him.
Yeah. Matt, in doing research for this album, there are a million accolades. I'm only going to bring up a few.
Okay.
And, I'm sure you have some too.
Yep.
But one thing I thought was interesting was that as of 2019, Rolling in the Deep is the best-selling digital single of all time.
Oh, wow.
20.6 million purchases
Wow.
of that. That doesn't even tell you how many are illegal.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
right.
It spent 65 weeks on the chart, which tied for fourth most weeks spent on the chart with none other than Jewel.
I got my eggs and my pancakes too. Got the maple syrup, everything but you.
Duh.
Which made me forget
So
how
obvious.
big that song was.
Yeah.
Guest Jeff Wood and I in college, we lifeguarded at this apartment complex pool, which was just a joke of a job. I mean,
Yeah.
just
Because y'all were terrible lifeguards.
we were terrible, but this is 95, 90, or 96. So we just had the radio on all day.
Yeah.
And we were always trying to win tickets, because again, we're bored. And so we had 2 quarters on top of the payphone that was in the guard shack. And so
Man, you were painting a picture of a time gone by.
if we heard it, one of us would run to the phone while the other one watched the pool. There were actually often 3 guards on duty at the time. And so 2 would play cards while one watched the pool, quote unquote. Yeah, so we'd run to the payphone, put a quarter in, dial the number. If it was busy, you hang up. And as the quarter's falling, you grab the other quarter and you're putting that in.
Oh, man,
We had
that's a system.
Yeah, we had a system. One day they answered, and we won Jewel tickets.
Oh, man.
The concert was that night. The pool was supposed to be open. And so we heard thunder.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
You saw lightning in the distance.
Yep.
Like all good lifeguards.
That's right. So we shut that pool down.
There's probably some kid getting ready to have his 12th birthday party later that afternoon. Like, all right, yep, saw lightning.
We got to
Heard
go
thunder.
see Jewel. Yeah, so we went and saw Jewel that night.
Was it just her and a guitar? Did she have a band?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. Afterwards, we saw in the parking lot, but it just felt really creepy to go talk to her.
Really?
So we didn't. That same club, same summer, guest Matt Wood from Teenage Fan Club, also the voice of the theme song. He and our other friend Doug went and saw Oasis. It was on their first tour of the U.S. They weren't even really well known.
Wow.
They snuck backstage, hung out with them, said they didn't understand a word that they said.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. Anyway, shout out Virginia Beach.
I think the thing I never realized until kind of reading these lyrics are like, you've got Adele, you've got her pipes, as you mentioned, but then the backing vocals, I think, are really great in the song. There are no subtle undertones. You're not trying to read between the lines of what's going on the song on this album. You're going to wish you'd never met me. Tears are going to fall. It's still impressive to come about in an afternoon, but you can see, like, emotions are fresh.
Yeah.
You're letting your soul bear out in one swoop, and
Captures well, though, that she's saying we could have had it all.
Yeah.
So she's not like, I never should have been
Yeah,
with
yeah.
you. Like she misses him, longing for him, but underneath,
Yeah.
it's the background singers. You're gonna wish you'd never met me.
Yeah.
So she's torn between that anger and that hurt. That's the breakup, man.
I've known people, later in their life, going through like separations, and they've been on the harmed side of things where it wasn't their doing, and their emotions fluctuate between anger and wanting not good things to happen to the other person.
Yeah.
All the way to, I still have deep love for that person and want to be with them. And that's all right here in one song, that tension between the two.
Matt, do you know who covers this song?
Jewel?
Somebody else. It's Linkin Park.
This is Linkin Park?
Yeah.
Really?
Not what you would expect.
No.
I didn't listen to that ahead of time because I was really hoping for
Linkin Park.
Linkin Park to do a version of that, but oh well.
Interesting.
All right, next song, Rumor Has It.
She ain't real. She ain't gonna be able to love you like I will. She is a stranger. You and I have history, or don't you remember? Sure, she's got it all. But baby, is that really what you want? Blessed up, so you got your head in the clouds. You made a fool out of you, and boy, she's bringing you down. She made your heart melt, but you're cold to the core. Now rumor has it she ain't got your love anymore. Rumor has it. Rumor has it. She is half your age.
If Rolling in the Deep is her kind of struggling with how to feel about her ex-lover who has left her, she's not pulling any punches with this one. Lyrically, it's so cleverly written.
Man, the opening lines, she ain't real.
She ain't real.
Oh my gosh, that cuts.
It's funny because she even talks about, like, you know, she's half your age, but yet she had
Yeah.
been in this relationship with a much older
Right.
guy.
Well, actually, real quick. She says that this song is actually aimed towards her friends who had been
Oh, really?
gossiping.
So it's almost like she's hearing stories third person from
Yeah.
friends and
so
what they're hearing.
Maybe
and so,
they're saying to him about Adele, she ain't real. She ain't going to be able to love you. That's where the she's half your age.
maybe so.
Yeah. So getting into the production, Rolling in the Deep and this song have some of the most live drum sounds. We talked about that in the last album. It just sounds like mic'd in the room, not heavily treated.
Yeah.
So that's what we mean by when we say live, is that it doesn't sound like very electronic or
Yeah.
that they've done a lot of treatment to it. It's like if you were listening with your headphones or if you're in the room, it's going to sound very similar.
And you can almost hear the pedal
Yeah.
on the kick drum. It is so live sounding.
There's no bass on this song. And you've got piano and acoustic, and then you've got that low drop D tuning that does that boom, doom, doom, you know, that part,
Yep.
which he said that was inspired by Radiohead.
She ain't real. She ain't gonna be able to love you like I will. Rumor has it. Rumor has it. Rumor has it.
Yeah,
You can hear it.
Yeah.
They get out of the way of her voice. Everything is moving that forward and pushing. It's got this great groove. She sings behind the beat a little bit at times, which is just a
Yeah.
way to make it feel like there's a groove. You're not all robotic on every
Yeah.
beat like Rush.
Oh,
I'm not
there
going to
it
stop
is.
talking about it.
Oh, my
See,
gosh.
it took me 2 albums. It took me
Oh, my God.
Alabama Shakes and this one to get the mechanical.
I got
out of my
excited
head.
because when you said, hey, next one we're going to do is 21, I was like, 2112? Really? Sweet. I knew you'd like them. Dang it. That's how you tricked me today.
Yeah.
Getting back to the lyrics, you know, whatever the story is, the way lyrically the song ends,
Yeah.
I think speaks more to the story we like about it. All throughout it, it's rumor has it, I'm the one you're leaving her for. And she ends it with, but rumor has it, he's the one I'm leaving you for.
Ooh.
Take that, guy.
No, so I wonder if this is for her, towards her friends. If she's like, I'm leaving you, friends.
Oh,
for
yeah.
him.
Maybe.
Maybe. Once again,
Yeah.
Matt and Matt breaking down relationships.
Yep. Oh, yeah, we nailed it. I'm sure we've got it.
Matt, last Alabama Shakes Epipod, I talked about doing that air piano for that one part.
Yeah.
This one has some claps.
Ooh.
And this album is a family favorite. So the girls have grown up with this.
Man, they're not going to trust men.
If we're driving along and this part comes on, my knee will be driving with the steering wheel.
There
my
you
hands
go.
are going
That's
up.
not safe at all. But
No.
thank you for.
But I got to teach them rhythm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true.
And so we do these claps here.
Rumor has it.
Actually, one of my favorite parts of the song, which I normally don't care for in a lot of songs, is that slow breakdown. It's not a long breakdown. It's just enough to add some tension.
Just 'cause I said it, don't mean that I meant it. Just
You know what that
'cause
part
you heard it.
always makes you think of?
What?
What's up with that?
What's up? I say, what's up? Somebody tell me what is up with that duck. Now, if you're gonna re-gift me something, make sure it ain't some whack-ass gloves. Yes, sir.
We've talked about that sketch before. It seems like an end of the night
Yeah,
sketch.
like
and then the
12:55
audience
a.m.
loves it.
Oh, yeah.
And they keep bringing it back.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Part of my reluctance for years of really getting into this was I just thought she was this like torch singing songstress, you know, jazzy kind of thing. And you mentioned like the Radiohead reference, and you know there are country elements to this album, and there are soul and there's some rock. I mean, she's got such a range of influences, and they all come out on this album. It's pretty darn marvelous how well she does it.
The reason it's so big, it's not just her voice.
Yep.
Next track is Turning Tables.
I won't let you close enough to hurt me. No, I won't ask you to just desert me. I can give you all you think you gave me. It's time to say goodbye to turning tables. Turning tables.
Have you seen the Tracy Ullman show on HBO?
No.
She had a show for a couple years, within the last couple years, and one of her recurring bits is she plays Adele.
Oh, really?
And it's phenomenal. So for one thing, you know, she speaks in this like cockneyed
Yeah.
accent. Part of the whole like running gag is like Adele is happy, and so her music sucks.
It feels good. It feels the way you know it should. I'm so happy. Puppies and rainbows and kittens pass by. I wave to them. They all say hi. Hi, 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 hi. Hi,
Can I just stop you there, Adele?
So like all her handlers are like trying to think of ways to like make her miserable,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
she can be inspired to write great music again.
That's a good
There's one
bit.
scene where they're like in this sort of industrial area, and she just starts singing about all the dirtiness that's around her, and it's phenomenal.
It's funny that you mentioned that because the song, she came in and she was like complaining and talked about that person's not going to turn the tables on me. And I guess whoever she was writing with, you know, was like, oh, that's a good phrase. We should do a song.
Oh yeah,
And they turned it into Turning Tables. But it's funny that it's like songwriters will listen to what each other are saying. You know?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
It's like, that's catchy. We can make that a thing.
Right.
It's like, can you just listen to what I'm saying without trying to create a song out of it? This is a song about domestic dispute where she is saying she's not going to stand for it anymore. She's not going to. Man, I really like, I can't give you the heart you think you gave me. Mm-hmm. She's a good writer.
really good writer.
I braved 100 storms to leave you. Wow.
And next time I'll be braver, standing on my 2 feet.
You got to wonder if the guy that she broke up with, you know, everybody's like, and we heard Turning Tables, so you beat her, you know, and he's like, oh gosh, you know, not every song's about the breakup.
There's like a song on here about how he like never hung his towels up.
I can't put that in there. After domestic dispute. You know,
My point being, like, every little thing that he did bad ends up a song.
that she writes about it. Okay.
Here's Adele's next big hit, Cap on the Toothpaste.
You come to Finest Work Songs for the music. You stay for the sensitivity. All right, next song is about fire and rain or something. Stealing from
James Taylor?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Set fire to the rain.
My hands, they were strong, but my knees were far too weak to stand in your arms without falling to your feet. But there's a side to you that I never knew all the things you say. They were never true in the games you play. You would always win, always win. But I set fire to the rain, watched it pour as I touched your face. When it burned, well I cried 'cause I heard it screaming out your name, your name. When I lay.
So this is a great example of what we were saying. Like, this is not as live a drum sound.
Yeah,
You know,
you're right.
this sounds like treated drums in the studio.
That's a good point. Was this a single?
Yes.
It was.
Number one.
I think Rolling in the Deep and
Rumor Has It. Someone Like You.
someone like you were, in my memory and in my mind, were so massive that I almost forgot about this one. As we were listening to this album this week, love this song.
If you had asked me the top 3 number ones on this one, I would not have said this one.
wouldn't have
and I
said
would have
this
said
one.
Rumor Has It.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was in
Yeah.
the top 10. Or
Right.
maybe it was. But what does it mean to set fire to the rain?
Maybe this is her environmental song, like when the Cuyahoga River caught on fire because
Yep.
of pollution. I bet that's what this is
Acid
about.
rain.
Acid rain.
It's about acid rain. Just like that episode of Different Strokes. Kimberly, for some reason, was washing her hair with water that she got off the penthouse balcony,
That's right.
but it turned green.
Doctor, all that my daughter put on her hair was that shampoo and water.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, she even used rainwater. Rainwater.
Yes, what could be purer than that?
Well, the storm we had today wasn't so pure. It was acid rain.
What you talking about, doctor?
And I remember that
right.
distinctly because it was like, oh, the 80s. We got acid rain to
We got
deal with.
acid rain
You never hear
and-
about acid rain anymore.
Man, the 80s, we were worried about acid rain, the Russians,
Big time.
aliens still. I mean, kind of.
Quicksand.
Quicksand.
As comedians have pointed
I
out.
remember playing in the woods thinking, okay, if there's quicksand there,
Yeah.
there's a stick over here I could grab.
Thankfully, there was always a stick or
Yep.
a vine.
And then kidnapping.
Kidnapping was
Yeah.
huge in the 80s. I act like it was a big trend.
It was a big popular
terrible.
trend.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, set fire to the rain. Maybe it's just metaphorically of like lashing out your anger and your frustration in such a way that you can do the impossible.
That's good. English major over there.
Yeah, hey.
I like it.
All right. This one definitely has more of the feel of like just a pop song.
Yeah. I still don't get it. I set fire to the rain, watched it pour as I touched your face. Well, it burned while I cried because I heard it screaming out your name. Listeners, can we send you a Kenny Gmail and you tell us what it means to
Yes.
set fire to the rain?
That's right.
Anybody?
If you have thoughts,
Adele, if you're listening.
I'm sure she is.
Listen, she sometimes goes incognito. Did you see that TV show on the BBC?
No.
They had Adele impersonators on some famous guy's show. It was a special where he was bringing, I guess, to find out who was the best. And they did her up with prosthetics and made her look really different. And she talked different. And she went last. And as she sang, immediately one of the women just freaked out because she immediately
knew?
Yeah, and the lady next to
Wow.
her was like, that's not her.
Yeah.
It's not really her.
She's wearing glasses and she has a mustache. Totally not
right.
her.
That's the only thing they did. Oh, that'd be great.
So what you're saying is there is a chance
She could
that
be
she
listening.
could be listening.
Yeah, there's a chance I could be Adele, Matt.
No, take off those glasses.
You know my heart more than I do. We were the greatest, me and you. But we had time against us and miles between us. The heavens cried. I know I left you speechless, but now the sky is cleared and it's blue. And I see my future in you. I'll be waiting for you when you're ready to love
She's really going through a range of emotions in this album.
She does, man. If you broke it up with someone, how you are feeling is contained somewhere in this album.
Yes.
You know, if you are in the vitriol, just setting fire to rain.
Like Carrie Underwood mess up their truck and break some windows.
Or if you're a please take me back.
Yes.
If you are standing outside their house with a boombox above your head. I love this song.
Oh, it's a great song. I mean, and it's got such a good groove to it.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing about this album. It's got multiple producers, but it remains cohesive.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound uniform. Not every song is the production of Rolling in the Deep like we talked about, but it all fits together, which feels like that would be tough with all those producers.
Yeah, a lot of producers, several different genres of songs on here too, like we talked about. And so for it to flow like it does, I guess part of that is we talk about sequencing of the tracks. That's always important for cohesiveness of an album.
Yeah.
And I think the sequencing is really good on this. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it doesn't sound like there are 4 or 5 producers on this album.
Right.
It all works well together.
All right, we're going to close it out with Someone Like You.
I heard that you're settled down, that you found a girl and you're married now. I heard that your dreams came true. Guess she gave you things I didn't give to you. Old friend, why are you so shy? Ain't like you to hold back or hide from the light. I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away. I couldn't fight it. I had hoped you'd see my face and that you'd be reminded that for me it isn't over. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best of you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I remember you say sometimes it lasts and loves, but sometimes it hurts instead. Sometimes it lasts and loves, but sometimes it hurts instead.
She had recorded with Rick Rubin, but was dissatisfied, and she went to earlier takes that she did with other producers for things like Rumour Has It and Rolling in the Deep because they contained the raw emotion after the breakup. So she's really tied into that.
Just tapping into, let's capture it.
Really wants to feel that, which is great, but it usually feels like you would do that for one take of a song that just, where your voice is cracking and you can't really fake that. I don't hear that in these songs. There's something that she feels or senses in her singing that is not captured in the Rick Rubin stuff.
If it's such a personal album and it's such a personal sort of like outpouring of and bearing of your soul, you're so dialed into it, you're going to hear and feel things that the casual listener probably isn't going to.
Yeah.
It makes sense that you would go back to that. That's not surprising, but it is surprising, like you said. You would think in most cases it would be maybe that one song.
Yeah, not multiple.
A session.
And there are 5 Rick Rubin produced songs on here, but it did not sound like that was a great experience for her with old Beardo. She wrote this song with Dan Wilson.
Closing time for you to go out to the places you will be from.
Which is so neat because you think about Closing Time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a one-hit wonder. It feels like.
Right.
It'd be like she wrote with Breakfast at Tiffany's guy.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Oh, well, man, she wrote it with 4 Non Blondes.
He has gone on to become an incredible producer and songwriter. Apparently, after the Rick Rubin session, she heard that her ex was engaged. And so then she and Dan wrote this in a day or two.
Wow.
And wrote it with, that piano piece. And then the record company wanted her to go record it with Rick, like no do full band and this and that. And I'm so glad they didn't.
Yeah.
This is how it's meant to be.
And it's such a good closer.
Yeah.
She's gone through this range of emotions on this album. It's almost like she's kind of at peace with it.
Yeah.
But there's still a dig. He's like, never mind, I'll find someone like you.
It is a dig, but it also feels like I still want to be with you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find someone like you. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going, ew, I'm going to totally go the other way. And
right.
So there's something sweet about it.
And it's such a pretty song.
Yeah, it really is a beautiful song. Okay, Matt, as we're closing it out, it's time for your senior quote.
Senior yearbook quote is our opportunity to pick a lyric from this album that would be our closing comment as we're leaving high school, and it's the quote we would put underneath our photo that we would be remembered for eternity in school. So my senior yearbook quote from Adele 21 is from Take It All, and it would just be simply, didn't I give it all? Tried my best.
Oh my gosh. Because you did, man. 18 years old, you gave everything
I gave it all.
for everybody.
Just like a freaking soldier.
Yeah, you got the Gave It All award.
I tried my best. What about you? What would be your senior yearbook quote?
All right. I was going to do, you know how the time flies. Only yesterday was the time of our lives.
Oh, jeez.
But I think I'd rather do a little saucy wink to my troublemaking friends.
Uh-oh.
Regrets and mistakes, their memories made.
Ooh, no regrets. I like it.
So yeah, I was worried we wouldn't be able to find a quote.
It wasn't
on
an
this
easy one. I mean, it was kind of like,
who did I break up with?
How do I not come across as a jilted lover?
Yeah. Another thing we try and do, listeners, is if you had to remove a song, which one would it be? So Matt, Adele's about to write a song about how you have scorned her.
How terrible I am.
Yeah. If you don't remove a song off 21. So if you had to, which one would it be?
There were a couple on here I kind of went back and forth on, but in the end, this was actually pretty easy for me.
Okay.
It would be Love Song.
Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am home again. Whenever
Matt, I'm so glad you said that. That's mine too.
One, to me, it doesn't fit on the album. Her songs are great enough on their own. She doesn't need to do a cover.
It's not a good cover.
It's not a good cover. The original by itself is, to me, is so iconic that, no one really needs to cover it, let alone, was it 311? I think they did a cover of it. And it's kind of this like ska punk version.
Yeah.
And I think that was actually a moderate hit for them when they did it. But it doesn't need to be here. Yes, it's a relational song, but it feels impersonal because it is impersonal. It's not her song.
Yeah. It sounds like a coffee house take.
Yeah.
The guitar playing, it just sounds like a coffee house. And she's not coffee house, man.
No.
Like you hear someone like you never think I would hear that in a coffee
Yeah.
shop.
Oh, right after Adam Duritz goes up, here comes Adele.
Here comes Adele.
Yeah.
So it's not good. It doesn't do anything to show off her vocal range.
No.
There really isn't a reason that it's on.
The only reason is she loves The Cure. She grew up with The Cure and wanted to do the song. That's fine. Do it in concert. Do it some other, but it doesn't need to be on the album.
No.
Pretty good album, though. Was like the best-selling solo album of all time in the UK.
Yeah, second best-selling to Sgt. Pepper's.
Yep.
I do have to point out before we close, Matt, that 19, her album, was nominated for the Mercury Awards.
Okay.
And it lost to Elbow Seldom Seen Kid.
Of course it did.
Yes, it did. They're the only ones to beat Adele at anything. Good job, boys.
Yeah, good job, guys.
All right, there's a million
accolades.
accolades. We didn't get into any of them. You can look them up, but it really is overwhelming. I'll just say that for me, it's worth it. Aside from Love Song, it's a classic album, and Adele is the treasure of the United Kingdom.
That's right. And she has a new album coming out.
That's right.
Very soon.
We didn't even mention that.
I know, right? Oh, yeah, by the way.
We're the worst. We're like, oh, Melting Pot Thursday. Ooh.
Dude didn't hang his towel up, so she's going to write a song about it.
Yeah,
what a dork.
She's got a new album coming out. And we hadn't actually even planned on recording this.
Yeah, it's serendipity.
I think actually she heard we were recording this.
That's what it is.
And she's like, it's opportune time.
She's like, guys, we got to speed up production.
Marketing came in.
Yep.
And they were like, listen.
There are these two guys in North Carolina.
They're both named Matt.
Who have a podcast.
Are you listening right now?
Thanks again for listening to another episode of Finest Work Songs. We always appreciate the engagement on social media. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Finest Work Songs, and on our Facebook page, and on our website, finestworksongs.com. Be sure to submit that fan art for your opportunity to participate in our season-ending Listener's Choice Epipod.
If you just recently experienced a breakup, you know that we really don't have great advice for you, but we do think that listening to Adele just might help.
It might help.
Yeah.
Our theme song is by the incredible band Medium Heat. This track is called Radio, and you should check them out at mediumheat.bandcamp.com. And check out any upcoming shows if you are in the Raleigh area. They are on Facebook at Medium Heat Music.